The artwork for Anime Podcasters is provided by GoProkyo. Please go follow him at GoProkyo. Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Anime Podcasters. We have with us a new host. Hotshot Ginger is with us. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Jaden. It's good to be here, and it's good to be your new right hand.
Yes. I very much appreciate the input, and I very much appreciate you coming on to this podcast. Before we get into the topic, today we're going to be talking about anime video games. Before we get into that, we have a couple of housekeeping notes to go through, and then we're going to go right into it. We both have 5 video games from anime that we're going to discuss, and that
Jaden had to struggle to find, and I found mine like that.
Right. Well, let's be honest here. You're more of a gamer than me. Let's not.
Oh yeah. I'm probably, if not the biggest gamer in the entire group.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. By a large margin, I won't even argue that one with you. So obviously with Hotshot being here and Yuki not being here, we need to discuss why Yuki is not here. Yuki has come to me and told me she decided to take a hiatus from the podcast because she wants to concentrate more on doing her drawings and her art and focus on more personal projects. I told her there's no problem at all, no issue at all. You go ahead and you do whatever you want. I obviously don't want to lock people in and make them feel bad if they leave the podcast. I wish Yuki the best of luck. Everyone here at Anime Podcasters wishes her the best of luck in all of her personal projects. I will also leave a link to her Twitter in the description of the YouTube video for this podcast. Please go follow her, go show her some love, and go support her and all of her endeavors. And she's taking a hiatus, so maybe she'll be back, maybe she won't. It's obviously Yuki was so much fun to podcast with, but I completely understand if she wants to concentrate on more personal stuff. So that is what is happening. So now Hotshot is here to take her place and host Anime Podcasters alongside myself. And Hotshot, for the people who don't really know who you are, kind of introduce yourself, talk about your experience with anime and everything. You mentioned you were a bit of a gamer before. Go right ahead. The floor is now yours.
All right, guys. So like Jaden told you, and yes, I know his actual name is JaianMusic, but I call him Jaden. It's just easier for me to call that. I've been on many episodes of Anime Podcasters with him. That's just what I call him. Deal with it. But I am one of the members of Anime Podcasters. I've been on a few episodes here with Jaden. My experience with anime is not the best. Out of everybody in the anime and out of everybody in our group, in fact, I probably watch anime the least. But at the same time, I feel like that'll bring a new characteristic to the entire podcast as a whole. I'm more of a gamer, and I'm more of a comic type guy, so a lot of my humor is going to be based around all that. But going back and forth with Jaden, even though I may not know a whole lot more on anime like he does, it'll still be a lot of fun. We'll still learn each other. We'll still have a fight back and forth, like our infamous fight that I know Jaden knows what I'm hinting at here. But But with me hosting, I really hope you guys like it. I really hope you guys still listen to it and just enjoy us screaming incoherently at each other.
So, with Hotshot bringing in this new perspective for the podcast, we obviously we're going to be remodeling a little bit what's happening here. And I also need to talk about the YouTube partner program changes, and it's kind of a whole big thing that's happening. This is the final housekeeping note, and I swear we're going to get to the topic after. So basically, I now need just more watch time on my channel. So I'm deciding to do Anime Podcasters twice a month now. That's what I'm going to be aiming for. The podcasts are going to be more list-based, so we're going to do anime video games, anime this, anime that, and we're going to give our lists. And we're also going to do, that will be the first podcast of the month, and the second one will be just a big Q&A podcast where you guys can leave us your questions about whatever anime topics, and Hotshot and I will decide our favorite ones, and we will answer them in an episode. We'll just go through a bunch of questions. It'll be a good time. So that's basically what's going to be happening with the podcast, and it's going to be really fun. So anything else you want to add, Hotshot, before we get into this?
The only thing that I will add is this episode, since it's more of a gamer type oriented episode, I will be your guys' main host for this, though Jaden is still his podcast in the whole.
Oh, they were going to figure... You didn't even need to say that. It was going to be obvious.
Yeah, well...
No, don't know right away. So, do you want to kick us off, or do you want me to start? I have my list. You have your list. Who wants to go first?
Since you had such a hard time finding your list, I am curious to see what you found, so I want you to go ahead first.
Okay, I will go with my first pick. Actually, before we go into our picks, I think it'd be interesting to talk about this. What went into making your list? Like, what did you put? What was in your mind as you were putting these video games together? For me, these were games I appreciated on a personal basis, games I found entertaining, and games. These are gonna be mostly old school games, old console games are not going to be very much recent games. I only have like one recent game if I do decide to pick it out of the backup ones I have as well. And so that's what went into my list. So what went into you making your list?
A lot of the same thing where it's more of a personal experience. You were entertained, you had fun playing this game, but at the same time, for games that I picked that are actually based off of anime, I picked ones that are like true to the story or true to the characters at the very least. But there are some on my list that were games first and then made an anime. So any ones that have any ties connected to anime that I enjoyed are on my list.
Gotcha. Very, very interesting. Okay, I'm going to start with mine. My first game is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duel Academy on Game Boy Advanced. Yes, I'm going very much old school. This game came out in 2006. It is an amazing game. I absolutely loved it. Basically, the principle of this game here, what happens is you become a student at Duel Academy, and you get to make your own character, and then you venture through the days of Duel Academy. You build your own decks. This is like a monthly, yearly. There's like a calendar. The game goes all year round. So you can start in January, you can start in February, whatever. And there's all these events. There's all these characters. Obviously, Jaden, Cyrus, Chumley, all these classic characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And it's a very fun game. I really enjoyed it. I remember I actually ended up beating this game. This is a game that I beat, and I really much enjoyed it. What I enjoyed the most about it was how I customized my own decks, and I would always try to beat Zane Truesdale, who was like basically the top of Obelisk Blue. Like if you beat him, like that's a very big deal. And I really enjoyed this game. There were like even like they had these monthly exams you had to take. Like you had to learn like what's this card's a special effect, or what's this card? Is this trap card a continuous one, or is it a quick trap card? Like all these different things. And there was some strategy. There was a lot of stuff to it, and I really enjoyed this game. You even got like if you passed one exam, you would go from Slifer Red to Raw Yellow, and then Obelisk Blue. And if you failed, you became a student flunky. There was a rank as well. Like you can become an elite duelist or a dropout or a flunky and stuff like that. It's really fun. It was a really fun game. So that's my first pick. Definitely the best pick so far.
I don't know if I've played the video game version of that one. I mean, I've played one or two video game ports of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I actually love seeing the monsters come up and actually take down your opponent's life for you because it's so much more satisfying.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I did play the actual card game a lot. Like,
oh, the card game is amazing.
Like I actually had a god card, but
which one?
I actually had Slifer, Sky Dragon.
You had Slifer?
I had Slifer.
You had Slifer.
I don't know what happened to it. Like
you don't know what happened. Where's Slifer?
It might have got lost when like in one of my childhood moves or something, but I don't have Slifer anymore, unfortunately.
Slifer.
No, I know. It makes me want to cry. I actually had 4 of the 5 pieces of Exodia, too.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is just like a flash your deck podcast now. Let's just change the topic.
Hey, I'll get to the topic. I'm just saying I had some cards. I didn't play the game a lot. I was more of a collector, but I have absolutely no cards anymore.
Oh yeah, no. My cards. I
was gonna ask if you've ever actually played the card game, or if you just played that game.
No, I played the card game. I was all about the card game.
Okay, I just wanted to check on that because I wasn't sure myself.
Yeah, but what do you think of that game? Like the way I described it, does it sound entertaining? What do you think?
It sounds entertaining because I actually really like Yu-Gi-Oh. Like I said, I love seeing the monsters come up. I love seeing their moves, and taking down your opponent's life points is so much satisfying. As opposed to like, if you're playing with someone with a card game in person, you have like a 6-sided die, you get hit, and it just goes down to a 5. Just like, no, I want the numbers going down. It's so much more satisfying.
Definitely. That's that game like just it meant so much to me, and I spent so many hours playing it. I even downloaded a Game Boy emulator and re-downloaded the game and played it again and beat it twice. Actually, I beat it twice, guys.
You beat that game twice?
Twice.
That takes, well, I'll be honest, that takes effort. Master Duelist over here, people.
Yes. effort and passion, just like Rocket League.
But the Yu-Gi-Oh version.
Yes.
All right.
Oh my god.
Do you got more, or can I go on mine?
No, that was all I got. So go ahead. Your first pick.
All right. This is actually probably one of the first anime games I've played. So it's one that's very close to my heart, very dear to me, and I have, I believe, all 4 of the current releases. It's Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Oh, yes. So, go, please regain me.
So I played the original Ultimate Ninja as well, which is a background and foreground fighter, kind of like a 2D, which, again, is still really fun. It's a lot of fun for the PlayStation 2. But once it hit the PS3, it turned into Ultimate Ninja Storm, which the first one in story mode, you can actually walk around the Leaf Village. There's a move you can do where it's Naruto Cannon, where you actually fling yourself using a shadow clone.
Yeah.
You can,
and you try to catch the shurikens that are all lined up.
Yeah, which it's actually really cool when you're walking around there, and you get missions by collecting scrolls or talking to people and getting certain items for them. And then you can Then you can relive the eras by going into a menu, picking story arcs, and doing all of that, which is a lot of fun. Though unfortunately, once they hit 2, the adventure mode really went downhill, in my opinion, because it went to you have to go to certain parts and it has to load, and then more part. It was like a top-down view for adventure, but the fights in all the games are still amazing. It's a very open-end 3D style where you can rush your enemies. There's a really good combat system where you can chakra dash, hit your enemies with a combo, get a ninjutsu in, and finish them with an ultimate jutsu. Some characters have certain...
Support characters?
There's support characters, yeah. And there's awakening modes that make you even more powerful, and it's just... I love it. I loved playing this game, and I still love playing this game. In fact, if I...
My favorite awakening mode... Oh, go ahead. No, finish your thought. I'll say after.
If we ever get you over here or me over there or something, it's one of the games that you and I have to play together.
Oh, definitely. My favorite awakening mode is the second stage Curse Mark of Sasuke. You can just spam fireballs, and it's just like I would do that. I would play that against my friends. It would be like, stop spamming those fireballs, and I'd be like, oh, what? Oh, more fireballs? Okay.
Oh, you would get along so well with Church, because in the 4th one or 3rd one, you when you use Madara or Toby, I guess I should say, spoilers.
What? Madara, Toby, what?
When he uses his awakening, he fires double fireballs. So if you keep spamming that, your enemy can like never get close to you, and it's so infuriating. Church loves it, but it's so infuriating.
It really is. It is. I could understand it being on the receiving end.
Yeah, though in all 4 Storm games, I still cannot even come close to using any puppet masters. I suck at using puppet masters.
Oh no, Mitsu, Kakuro, Chio, not happening. So sorry, not
I'll
happening.
take Lee, Hinata, Naruto, like any of those kind of characters any day, but give me a...
I was amazing with Guy. My Guy was like, I was really good with him.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I was really good with him, and like in the first one, I would spam those substitutions all the time, and people were like, damn it.
Minato was actually one of my tops.
Oh, I love Minato as well.
He's insane. I love him.
All right. Is it my turn?
Yep, you are up.
Okay, my next pick is another Game Boy game. Yeah, okay.
Again, it's all old school. This is Jaden's old, people.
Oh yeah, I'm hitting my I don't know, 23 is not that old.
Well, I mean, are you a hipster then? You like retro?
I don't know.
You like retro stuff more than current stuff.
I definitely do. Yeah. So I am going to be picking Yu Yu Hakusho Tournament Tactics for Game Boy as well. It's a really, really fun game. This is basically a game that covers the Dark Tournament arc of Yu Yu Hakusho. And the way this works is that you start off with one character being Yusuke Urameshi. You pick up one more character, and you can pick up to 5 characters. And what happens is that it's like basically like this chessboard kind of thing where there's like all these characters throughout the maps, and you can upgrade your character's power, stamina, movements, health, all that stuff. And they have attacks, and on one turn you can either heal yourself, you could increase your evasion, you can fire an attack, you can move.
Wait, so hold up. Did you say this was a fighter for Yu Yu Hakusho on Game Boy?
Yeah, I guess it's a fighter, but it's like a basic bit of a chess match. Like you move around, you decide where you go with your characters.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Yeah. It's definitely a fighting game because you have to fight and defeat your enemies. It might not be like a button mash or anything like that, but it's definitely like a tactical thing, tournament tactics. You see, it's in the name.
Okay.
And this is a really, really fun game that I enjoyed, and it's very strategy-based. And being the Yu Yu Hakusho fanboy that I am, I really enjoy this game. I would be the kind of guy who would really come out with these really elaborate plans where I would move a character to a certain spot. It would be like the enemy would be like, this is so random, and then I would just shoot an attack right through my ally, even just to get the win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would just do like all these like really crazy moves, and I would always pull off these really weird things. I would be the kind of guy who would go back to the old maps, go through them 3 or 4 times just to boost my character's level as much as possible, and then I would like go into the next map just to be like super OP.
Do you have it?
No, I only got that one on emulator. Yes, yes.
It kind of sucks when you're talking about games that you fell in love with, but you don't have them anymore.
No, I know. Well, I never had them in the first place. I found this game through like the emulator systems on Google and everything, and I'm like, oh, a Yu Yu Hakusho game. I downloaded it, played the first level. I was like, oh wow, okay, this tutorial is really cool. And then I just fell in love with it.
Okay, but you have played it, like on the emulator.
I've beaten it. I actually beat this game multiple times as well.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. You go all the way to the end when you fight younger Toguro and everything. It's a really fun game.
I like it.
Yes.
I mean, Yu Yu Hakusho is not my strong suit, but I might like it if I ended up playing it.
No, definitely. But like this whole idea where it's like, could you imagine like a fighter game with like almost like this chessboard kind of thing where you move characters around? Have you ever done anything like that or heard of a game that's like that?
Not that immediately comes to mind. I might have to sit down for a while and think about that.
Does that concept like sound like a cool thing to you, or is it outside the box? What do you think? Because it's got some really good reviews.
It does sound like an interesting concept to use for a game like that, yeah. Especially when it comes to like you actually have to fight alongside with using tactical movements with it.
Exactly, and different attacks have different ranges. It's a whole thing.
Right. So it does sound like a really good idea and a really good concept, and even by just your description, I can see why people would like it.
Yeah, so that's all I have.
All right, sounds good. All right, so this one I haven't beaten yet, and the sequel is already out, but I am currently trying to beat it. Digimon Cyber Sleuth.
Ooh, that I've heard of that.
Yeah,
game.
It's a very well received Digimon game. It's very current for the PlayStation 4. So in it, you play as this cyber kid who your body gets basically cyberized, where you can hop into the digital world or the real world at will. Like you don't have a Digivice or anything like that. You can just hop into the digital realm. And you work as a detective's assistant that comes around with a whole bunch of different cases, like supernatural cases, cybercrime, stuff like that. But a lot of it takes place in the digital world where there's a whole lot of Digimon. The story, for me at least, is one that kind of takes you have to sit down and actually understand all the phrases that they're saying. But
okay.
But the combat system, on the other hand, is something else entirely. Because when you go into battle, it's a lot like, dare I say it, Pokemon, where you...
Oh, no. They copied Pokemon. Okay.
Where you go in with your Digimon, you beat down the enemies and upgrade your Digimon. Though, unlike Pokemon where they evolve naturally and just whenever they reach a certain level, you actually have to go into a lab, and each Digimon has a tree, or a Digitree, where you can actually choose the evolution from like 4 or 5 different options in some cases. And you level them up until they get to their Ultra evolution, and it's a lot of fun to have a lot of Digimon to work with, especially when it comes to you can pick to what they choose into, or you can pick to what they turn into. The story is intriguing, I will say. but when I go into anything Digimon related, I'm going for the Digimon.
No, definitely. So if the is it like a turn-based kind of thing with the battles?
It is very heavily turn-based. Yeah, it's not like go in guns blazing and you come
no
up
button
winning.
mashing.
Yeah, no button mashing. It's an RPG turn-based.
Does it have the? I remember the old school cast, the very first cast of Digimon. Is it those people, or is it like season like I don't know what of Digimon?
It's those people, like it's Agumon, Gabumon, Patamon, and it's also some newer types. Like I can't tell you the names off the top of my head, unfortunately. But a couple of them would be Renamon or Gabumon, or Gabumon's an older one. But there are over like 250 Digimon in there to use.
Right, but do you have like the characters, like the humans, like Tai? Is Tai around, or is it not?
all the human characters are original characters for the game specifically.
Oh, okay.
Like
gotcha.
If Tai was in it or Kairi or any of them were in it, I'd probably just like stick with them. Like, okay, you guys know what you're doing. I'm staying here.
Gotcha. All right. I'm going to try to get a better one going for my next pick, my third pick. Oh, my God. We're already on round number 3? What is happening?
We're already on 3.
Okay.
We're not interrupting each other as often as we usually do. That's what's wrong here.
No. Oh, it's so wrong. A healthy conversation. What is this? All right. My next pick is going to be Dragon Ball Boo's Fury. Try to guess what console. Try to guess what console.
Is it a Game Boy? It's either Game Boy or GameCube.
You're such a good guesser. Oh my God. Yes, it is a Dragon Ball Boo's Fury is a Game Boy game that covers the entire Boo arc. And I'm really talking about the tournament, to Bobbity Spaceship, to the Fusion, to Gohan Ultimate Gohan, to the Pataras. It really covers the entire arc of Boo's arc, and it's a really, really fun game. You basically level up your characters. You have to fly around, find the Dragon Balls. There's all these different. It's like the world map. You can fly around. You can run into bandits, and you upgrade with equipment. You can transform into Super Saiyan. You can obviously there's different key attacks. It's a really fun game. I really, really enjoyed this game, and I played it so much that I had to pick it. But Dragon Ball, it really covers the Boo arc very well.
I've played a few Dragon Ball games myself. I've never played one that focuses specifically on one arc.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because a lot of the games I've played have covered several arcs. Because if you play one arc, I mean, yeah, at the time it seems like it takes a while, but when you really get down to it, one arc is over relatively quickly.
Right, but like I feel like those like fighting Dragon Ball games, like let's see, Dragon Ball Budokai, right. The original Budokai on PS2. Okay, let's just take that one. Okay. The Saiyan Saga is covered with one fight with Raditz, one fight with Nappa, one fight with Vegeta. I'm guesstimating here. Obviously, there might be a couple of things, and that's the arc.
I mean, I think you're right, but Vegeta might have 2 fights. But I see what you're saying. They shorten the fights down. Like let's
say we made a video game. If we use the same structure as Boo's Fury, you would have at the very beginning where you have Gohan getting kidnapped. Okay, Gohan getting kidnapped would be a thing. There would be a level about that. You would have a fight with Raditz. You would have a thing where a level where Piccolo trades Gohan. A level where Yamcha, Tien, Chiaotzu, Krillin, and Yajirobe are on the lookout.
So it'd be a game where you literally go through every single interaction between characters and have a.
You really go through all the steps.
Okay.
Yeah. You really go through all the steps, and it really that's why I said from the beginning it really covers the Boo arc, really in a very detailed manner. It's really good. I mean, you even fight Dabura. Like Dabura is like a character that you barely hear. You think of when you think of the Boo arc, and he was like Bobby's like right hand man, you know. So it's a really good video game. It's a very, very good like Game Boy games. Like people were like, oh, it's on the Game Boy. It's like, you know, it's not like on the PS4, this big powerful thing. But really, like if you think about it, these Game Boy games, they have a lot to it if you take the time to look at it. They're gems. They're really gems.
Even old school games on PS2 are still kind of like, oh, they're not current and everything hates them. But then you port them onto the PS4 like exactly as they are, and they're probably some of the most downloaded games out there.
Exactly. Yeah. So that basically covers that game. Was there anything you wanted to add to that?
All I can add to that is I wish more Dragon Ball games did that style to where you actually go through every single scenario and every single interaction, because that's the only way to get a size of the scope for the arc that they go through, instead of just paraphrasing it to where, like, okay, you're only fighting the very important people, and then it's just like, that's not at all what happened.
And you remember, like, in Boo's arc, like, how well do you know the Boo saga from Dragon Ball?
Relatively, but only if you're talking about Boo and not Bobbity.
No, okay, Boo, really Majin Buu, okay? When Majin Buu, like, basically wipes out Vegeta's self-destruction and all that stuff, and, like, basically everyone goes back to look at it like, oh my god, so much crap happened, right? You remember that?
Yeah, that I do.
Okay, and then they go, okay, we gotta find the Dragon Balls now, right?
Yeah.
They have, okay, well, there's literally, like, an arc in this Boo story game where you're Trunks and Goten, and you fly around to different maps, to different places, and you find Dragon Balls. There's even, like, Dragon Ball Gathering, which is, like, a key thing in Dragon Ball games. So it really covers the whole thing.
I just wish that other Dragon Ball games did the same thing, because there's a lot of Dragon Ball games that I love that don't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's my third pick.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that we're already on number 3, huh?
It's all good.
All right, so my number 3 is gonna be a game that was turned into an anime, and this was before we even started this podcast. This was one that I told you that I really, really, really wanted to talk about, and
which is, drum roll.
That would be Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Oh, I remember you mentioning this on another podcast.
Yeah,
go ahead.
For our hero list. Hyperdimension Neptunia is another turn-based RPG, but I haven't beaten that many games in it. I think I've only beaten 2, and there's like 5 at least. So in Hyperdimension Neptunia, you mainly play as the protag of protags, Neptune, and her friends Noir, Vert, Blonde, and their sisters Nepgear, Ramen Ram, and Uni. So all these characters are called CPUs, and they live in a land called Game Industry. Honestly, if you picture a protagonist who mainly shoots out game references or blah blah blah, who shoots out game references and gamer puns and everything like that, basically just a total slacker, you'll get Neptune. But a really big part of it is the transformation into HDD form, to where the CPUs, if you can picture it, are mainly the Hokages of where they live.
Right. I remember this. I remember this.
Yeah. So Neptune would be the goddess of Planetune. Noir is the goddess of Last Station, a play on PlayStation. Vert would be the goddess of Leanbox, play on Xbox. And I already said Noir. And Blonde would be the CPU of Louis, which is, again, Wii. And basically, their cities are exactly what you'd expect. Noir's is PlayStation based, etc., etc. So the reason why I like it so much is because the characters are actually talking to each other in a lot of the game. Like, they're given a lot of character development in all 3 games. There's a lot of humor. There's a lot of fourth wall jokes. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of it's beautiful. Basically, is what I'm trying to get at. And the reason why I'm counting it towards the anime, or towards anime game list, is it was anime originated, saying that it's an anime style, but it was eventually made into an anime called Hyperdimension Neptunia.
Right. In comparison to Digimon and Naruto, where does this one rank for you?
Where's this one ranked for, like, game or just universe?
Your favorite games out of the 3 you picked so far. You picked Digimon, Cyber Sleuth, and Ultimate Ninja Storm. Is it above, below?
Out of my favorites so far that I've given you, it's probably my top.
Okay. Damn. Okay.
Yeah, it's a hard one to beat for me.
Fair enough. Sorry for a cough. Is there anything else you wanted to add to that? I think it sounds like a very interesting game. I'll give my 2 cents here.
Yeah, a lot.
Sounds like
a lot of stuff in Neptunia you're gonna have to play in order to understand, or at least see the anime to understand. But a lot of it is so worth it.
Definitely. I'm just looking at the artwork here. I'm looking real quick. I'm getting a Final Fantasy vibe. How am I reading too much into it, or is that? What do you think of that?
it's way more lighter tone than Final Fantasy. I will tell you that right now.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. That's just we're just looking at the artwork.
I can understand why you say that though.
Okay. All right. Is it my turn?
Yep. Fourth pick.
Okay. I am moving from the Game Boy. I'm not gonna go to the Game Boy. I might go back to the Game Boy for my last pick, but I am moving away from the Game Boy for this next pick. I am picking a Naruto game.
Ooh, now you have my attention.
I am picking Naruto Chronicles. The series. Do you know what I'm talking about? I played
and I beat it. You're talking Uzumaki Chronicles?
Yeah, Uzumaki Chronicles. Yeah, the 1 and 2 are absolutely amazing. I've wasted so much time on those games. I prefer 2 personally, but Naruto Chronicles is basically the Naruto universe. You really have Naruto, you really have Kakashi, you really have Neji, you really have Sasuke, you really have these characters, but it's like a brand new story. It's never not non-canon, and it really like goes on this path where you have all these missions. You really participate as a shinobi of the Leaf Village. And I mean, I remember one of the first missions is to go around and to promote the store in the Leaf Village for all this like ninja equipment, and you have to like hand out flyers, and you have to go around and beat like ninja bandits. And there's really this world map where you can walk around. You never know if you're gonna get attacked by another ninja bandit. And Kabuto's in there, or Orochimaru's in there. You gotta fight them. What I disliked about Chronicles 1 was the fact that when you switch from let's say you could have an ally with you. Let's say I was playing with Naruto and Neji. If I used Neji, unfortunately, I could only use him for a very short amount of time because this chakra bar would decrease. And once this chakra bar was out, then I couldn't use him anymore. But if I used Ninjutsu too, it would lower his chakra. So it was very limited. That was corrected in Naruto Chronicles 2, where basically you could really play as a team of ninjas. So you could have a mission where you're Naruto, Sakura, and Kakashi. And basically in Chronicles 2, you have the Shirogane clan, these puppets, and it follows these like 10 chapters that are really interesting. So overall, an amazing game series. Naruto Chronicles was a gem. I beat it multiple times as well. I enjoyed it so much. What do you think about that game?
I've played both of them, and I've also beaten both of them multiple times. And again, like you, I'm actually going to say number 2 is the better one. Yeah. Especially because of the fact that you can play as more characters other than just Naruto. Because, one, you're stuck with Naruto. 2, you can play as Lee. You can play as Sasuke. I haven't played these games in a very long time, but when I did play them for the PS2, I fell in love, and I fell in love hard.
Yeah, man.
A lot of Naruto games specifically are really hard for me to turn away from.
Mm-hmm. But this game is so much fun. It just you lock onto your character, you got your ninja tools, you got your ninjutsu, and you also had the ninja plates where you could like upgrade your skills and throw in like a improved taijutsu health or whatever you want.
There was even if I remember correctly, there was even a way to use sexy jutsu as a parry. Like
you could use
where if they hit you when you're in sexy jutsu, you teleport behind them and just start wailing the crap out of them.
Or what I would do is like spam Shadow Clone Jutsu and then just use Sexy Jutsu and it would do a harem jutsu.
Oh yeah,
and that you just knocked out the entire row of enemies there. Or obviously the Rasengan and it's great game.
I'll be straight up. Harem Jutsu is probably what I ended up using the most when I used Naruto.
I would actually spam Naruto Uzumaki Barrage.
Oh seriously? Oh yeah, because when you slam them down, it sends a shockwave and it gets a whole bunch of guys at once around you. Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna have to find a way to pick those games up again. Now I want to play them.
No, it was great. It was great. Or if you use Kakashi, and what I would do is I would lock onto an enemy super far away and use Lightning Blade, and Kakashi's Lightning Blade, he like runs with it. So I would end up like hitting like 6 or 7 people with the Shidori.
I'm feeling such nostalgia right now.
No, it's an amazing game. It's really an amazing game. And Chronicles 2 also had the survival trial where you could like fight against like ninja bandits and puppets, and then you would fight against like tag teams of Naruto and Sasuke and Kakashi and Sakura. All these great missions. I loved it. I loved it so much.
I cannot blame you at all. You got any more? Because I got nothing else other than just gushing over it.
That's what I love. Actually, one last thing.
Go.
Chronicles 2, what I enjoyed about it was obviously the storyline Shirogane clan, but also the side story with the Akatsuki, and you can actually fight Itachi and Kasami with Kakashi and Guy. That was a really fun side story that they added. You had to beat the game multiple times to unlock it. It was like Kakashi's like side story. It was really cool. So yeah, that is all.
That's all? Aw, I was hoping for a little bit more. It's really fun to talk about that one.
I mean, if you want to add more, go ahead.
I got nothing else, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. All right, your turn.
All right, so I'm going to say straight up, if you ask Yuki about the game I'm going to tell you about next, she will have a million things to say about the game and the anime. And...
oh, obviously, it's Soul Eater.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, haven't you seen the game for it?
Do they have a Soul Eater
They actually
game?
do. It's a fighter, but that's not the one I'm talking about.
Oh, I actually, like, general. Anyway.
The game I'm talking about is Danganronpa.
Oh my gosh, he always talks about Danganronpa.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
So consider this a little tribute over to Yuki. So Danganronpa is a crime-style game where you collect evidence and then you go to a trial. At the end of it, find out who's guilty. But at the same time, before the trial even happens or the evidence collecting even happens, you go around with your fellow students who are trapped in this Hope's Peak Academy. You're all trapped. You have no idea why. All your memories are gone. And you're building relationships with these other characters. You're following the rules. But then a sinister plot happens where the headmaster has you trapped here in order to play a killing game. Basically, the only way to escape the school and out into the real world is to kill your classmates and get away with it. So for a while, everything seems to not go that way. Everyone just seems to be fine living at school. But then the headmaster, Monokuma, gives you a motive, and one of you follows this motive, kills one of your classmates, and after you gather all the evidence, you go into the class trial, where if you pick the wrong person who committed the murder, everyone else gets executed and the murderer goes free. But if you choose the correct person, then they get axed and you guys live out your lives in the school until one of you gets away with it.
Damn, okay. That sounds like a very complicated plot. It sounds very like you gotta put a lot of thought into it, and like basically like you could
at times it is a very head-scratching kind of game because sometimes you won't remember all the evidence, or you'll have to think specifically about why they're saying what they're saying. Right,
exactly, right.
But in the trial, the actual gameplay is you have evidence as your bullet points, and when you see someone telling a lie or truth or something, you have to shoot whatever relates to what they're saying into a certain point, and it will either erase what they're saying and bring up an argument against it, or it will agree with what they're saying and let the argument continue, bringing you guys closer.
That actually sounds really cool.
It's really cool, but if you're not into the patience for when it comes to thinking about like the evidence for yourself and everything like that, the anime itself also does it really well, because the anime is a scene by scene of the game, and even when they're in the trials, it shows you a little bit of what the game does.
Damn. Okay. Really cool stuff.
Yeah. And just talk to Yuki about it if you're at all curious. Just be prepared to have a very long, very one-sided talk.
Okay. Was that everything you had to say? Because I have never played this game or watched the anime, so
all I want to know is that have Yuki and I made you curious about it?
Honestly, I don't know. No. Honestly, like, it sounds cool. I won't deny. I can appreciate the art of it and everything, but I'm drawn into so many different anime series that like I like peeking my head out of my hole, be like, oh, what's this? It's got to be one person.
Okay, I can respect that.
So, all right.
So now we're on our final pick.
You cannot have a podcast about anime video games without my final pick, Hotshot.
Well, I mean, you can. It just would be a very bad idea.
It would be a horrible idea. Not to mention the classic Pokemon games on Game Boy. Yes, I'm going back to Game Boy. Pokemon, come on. Who cannot appreciate these games? No one. What? You don't like them?
No, I love Pokemon. I just wanted to screw with you.
Oh, gotcha. Right, fair shot. the one I'm specifically want to talk about is the first one I came across, and that's Pokemon Yellow. I absolutely love these games. Pokemon on Game Boy is so much fun. You build your own, you choose which Pokemon you go. It's a classic. You fight. You go against the different arenas, and you collect badges, the bikes. Who can forget the boat? Who can forget trying to wake up Snorlax? Who can forget trying to beat those final 4 Pokemon trainers? Who can forget surfing? Who can forget flying from map to map? Who can forget using a Master Ball to capture that favorite Pokemon of yours? Mine, what was it? It was the lightning bird. I forget the name of it off the top of my head. I had. I don't know. I can't. It was the bird. It had lightning. That's all I can recall.
Was it black and yellow?
It was yellow for sure.
Okay, so it was probably Zapdos then.
Okay, gotcha. I loved this game so much, and I replayed it so many times, and wasted so many hours of my life on it. And it was such an amazing game. It's a classic. It's the staple of the Game Boy, in my opinion. more than Mario, in my opinion. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. Yeah,
right.
That is my pick, and I know you have something to say about it.
Now, I played Pokemon Yellow myself on Game Boy Color, but my favorite Pokemon game has to be Gale of Shadows for the GameCube.
Gale of Shadows for the GameCube. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and tell me a little bit about that.
It's a lot of the same thing. You're a trainer, and you start off with a Eevee, but somehow some Pokemon are being corrupted, and it's your job to find these Pokemon, and you actually have the ability to steal Pokemon from other trainers because they're corrupted. So what you do after you catch them is you use them in battles, and as well as leveling up, they also takes away the corruption from them, and you purify them. And basically you get through this entire storyline with everything, only to find out that you have a Master Ball, and the cause of all this corruption is a negatively influenced Lugia, and it's your job to capture him and purify him. There's a whole lot of story elements and a whole lot of other backstory on there that I'm missing, but that's what I remember since it's been so long since I played it. But I love playing it every single time.
Right. But going back to the Game Boy Pokemon games, was there anything you wanted to add about that?
Other than the fact that I wish I played it more, like classic Pokemon, be it yellow, red, or blue, I don't really have anything else now.
All right. Well, then, it's your final pick.
All right. So
go ahead.
So if you guys are under 18, you're not going to want to hear what I have to say.
GTA 5.
It's gonna be no, it's not that. It's a game series called Senran Kagura.
Senran Kagura, of course, yes.
Do you have any idea what that is?
I've actually heard of Senran Kagura.
Okay.
Yes, I've come across it on my newsfeed here and there. Have not dabbled that much more into it.
Cool. So it is a hack and slash game to where you're one ninja character and you're slicing around like armies of grunts and everything until you get to the one main villain in that stage where you beat him down, and that's the end. But again, not the end of the game, the end of the level or stage. But the catch is that all the girls or all the characters are female, and all of them are very heavily, shall we say, fan servicey.
How fan servicey?
Very fan servicey. You can never get them completely, shall we say, uncovered. But you can always go into the dressing room with them and change their appearance out a little bit, swap out.
Okay, if you're 18, get out of the podcast right now.
But you can swap their tops out, swap their bottoms, swap their hairstyles. You can basically customize them to how you want them to look. And then when you go through the missions on them, you have the ability to turn into Shinobi mode, which gives you access to your ninja moves and your ninja abilities. But
is that their Ninja Awakening? No, I'm kidding.
But main heavy point of the series is the more damage your character or the enemies take, your clothes get more tattered. And if you get tattered enough, it will eventually get to the point to where sparkling balls of light are covering their areas. So you never see like anything that's too like, Okay, yeah, definitely only 18 and up seeing, but it does get heavily to that point, and it's heavily sexualized, and I love it. I will say that right now. I don't care.
No, you're allowed to. Hey, to each their own, man.
And on top of that, there's their latest installment is called Peach Beat Splash, and it is still a hack and slash style, but it's a third-person shooter to where you guys, the girls are taking place in this water gun tournament, and basically you have to take down the entire team using spray guns. So I mean, use your imagination on that one.
Wow.
Yeah,
man.
it's a series that actually Kyokai told me about at first, but I ended up buying it and I ended up playing it, and all the characters and the fighting style of it and Peach Beat Splash I just fell in love with. I love Senran. For more reasons than the obvious. I mean, come on, people.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that concludes it. That concludes our list. So let us know in the comments who had the best list. Let me remind you of my list. I had Naruto Chronicles, Dragon Ball Buusuri, Yu Yu Hakusho Tournament Tactics, Pokemon Yellow, and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Duel Academy. What did you have?
And to remind you guys of my list, I believe I had Digimon...
Naruto Ultimate
Ninja, thank you. I was actually stuck. Naruto Ultimate Ninja, Digimon Cyber Sleuth, poop, Danganronpa, Hyperdimension Neptunia, and Senran Kagura series.
That's the list. So let us know in the comments who had the better list. And also, guys, since we're going to do multiple podcasts a month now, feel free to leave us questions anytime on YouTube on the podcast.
That was actually one of my favorite.
Or you can tweet them at me.
That was actually one of my favorite episodes that Jaden never did. It was his Q&A special that he did with Yuki in church.
Yeah. It was really fun. It was really, really fun. We're going to do more of those. I'm just going to get 20, 30 questions, and we're just going to blow through them and just you can really go get into some weird topics. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Everything's a lot of fun when we record together.
Yes, definitely. Okay, so that basically concludes the
actually,
podcast.
I had
also want to take a moment.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
No. You go ahead.
I actually had one thing to say to you guys real quick. I know this is Jaden's channel, and I know this is his podcast, but please. I know I'm one of the new hosts here, so please just comment and let me know how I did, or if you guys like me at all. I know I'm just a dork with just a dorky laugh and dorky opinions, but please, if you guys like me, or even if you don't, just let both of us know, please.
You did good, man. You did good.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So definitely, that concludes the podcast. So I'm gonna let Hotshot plug everything he wants to, his Twitter, his YouTube, his whatever you want to plug. Go right ahead, Hotshot.
All right, so Hotshot Ginger here. My YouTube channel is Hotshot Ginger, and I'm also on Twitter at Caution Ginger. That's a little bit confusing, I know. But we also have a second YouTube channel called Cloud9 Podcast, where it's my podcast. I'm the permanent host on that one. We don't have a permanent set in stone topic like we do here that we talk about all the way through.
It's like nerdy topics, whatever we feel like.
Whatever we feel like. It's a freestyle podcast. So if you guys like our voices or just like us bantering off each other, go ahead and check us out. We only got the one out for now, but we will be getting more out for you.
So that's everything you need to go check out. And on my end, I want to take a moment before I plug anything and thank everyone who's helping me with increasing my watch time, and everyone checking out all my videos and all my music and everything to help me stay in the YouTube Partner Program. I really, really, really can't believe how many people are coming out to help. It's insane. I never thought so many people would be tweeting at me, oh, we're going to do this. Everybody on Discord, thank you so much. I seriously appreciate all of you guys. It's overwhelmingly amazing. So for myself, you can obviously follow my Twitter. It's at JaianMusic. Facebook.com/JaianMusic is my page. Subscribe to the channel and make sure to subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and follow my SoundCloud for the SoundCloud version. So SoundCloud.com/JaianMusic. And finally, most importantly, all of the artwork for anime podcasters is provided by GoProkyo. So please go follow him on Twitter at GoProkyo. He's super, super nice, super easy to talk to. He does amazing artwork, and his rates are ridiculously cheap, which I still can't believe. Like, he's a really good resource. You should really, if you have any sort of animation, anything you need for your visual projects, go hit him up. He's very much available, and he's a great artist. So that's going to be everything for the podcast. Any final thoughts, Hotshot?
Love me. no, but
thank you guys so much.
Guys, thanks a lot.
Good. Yeah, for sure. All right. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you in the next episode of Anime Podcasters.
Later.
Peace out.